Hello dear all, welcome back. So, how all of you are doing? I hope all of you are doing very well. So, let us start with our today's lesson. But before that, let me show you something. This is a picture of what? Can you tell me? Or this one? Yes, you got it right. It's a train. So, today we will read chapter 3, Journey by Train. But before reading the story, let me ask you something. Have you ever been on a train, children? I hope all of you have been on a train. So, before starting the story, I have a task for you. I'll show you some pictures, and what you have to do, you have to identify all these things which we can see from a train's window. So, here are the pictures. So, yes. So, these are the things: a dog, a tree, and houses. These are the things we can see from a train window. Now, let's start the story. Abhay is traveling by a train for the first time. Let us read on to find out what surprises him the most. Abhay was skipping with excitement because it was his first journey by train. The train was rolling into the station. So, what does excitement mean? Feeling or showing happiness and enthusiasm. So, Abhay is telling to his grandma, "Grandma, let us board the train." Board means to get onto a train or any other vehicles. But what his grandmother is telling? Abhay, we have to wait for the train to stop first. Abhay could barely sit still. He ran up and down the coach, looking at the people in the compartment. Compartment means one of the separate sections which a coach on a train is divided into. The station master waved the green flag and the train started moving. The world outside, houses, fields, people, and stations rushed past in the opposite direction. Abhay was bubbling with questions. Grandmother had worked with the railways for many years and she knew all the answers. So it is the story of a boy named Abhay who was very excited because it was his first travel by a train and he could barely sit still. And what he was doing? He was running up and down the coach and looking at the people. The station master then waved the green flag. See, this one is the station master. And then the train started moving. And what Abhay was seeing outside the train? The houses, fields, people and station all were rushed past in the opposite directions. Abhay was bubbling means to be full of a happy and excited feeling. He had many questions to ask his grandmother and grandmother also had all the answers. Why? Because she had worked with the railways for many years. What makes trains move? It depends on the kind of train you are sitting in. Before trains, people traveled on horses or by stage coaches, which were pulled by horses. The first trains were made of wood, both the coaches and the train lines. These were also pulled by horses. Then came steam engines. Coal is burnt in these engines. This turned a boiler full of water into steam. This steam pushes the wheels of the train forward. After this came diesel locomotives. In these, the power comes from an engine that burns the diesel oil. This powers a generator that sends electricity to electric motors, which turn the wheels. They were faster and less polluting than steam engines. Now, what does the word boiler mean? A container in which water is heated to produce steam in an engine. And locomotives means train engines. And what does generator mean? A machine for producing electricity. So, after the wooden train came the steam engine trains, and after that came the diesel locomotives. And after that, electric trains use electricity directly from overhead wires or a rail line. These cause the least amount of pollution than other types of train. So children, can you tell me which train causes the least amount of pollution? It's an electric train. Very good. Now what Abhay is telling, I think electric trains are the best way to travel. I think they don't cause as much pollution as burning coal or diesel. And now let's see what grandmother is answering. It's not that simple, Abhay. Building and running electric trains can be quite expensive, means can cost a lot of money. By the end of the journey, Abhay was impressed by trains. He decided to read more about trains. When he reached home, he especially wanted to learn more about bullet trains, which his grandmother told him were the fastest. So, children, which train is the fastest train? It's a bullet train. So, I think all of you have enjoyed listening the story. So, meeting you again in our next class. Till that time, take care of yourself and thank you.